All right, we got the full slate of head coaching hires. Of course, Klint Kubiak to the Raiders will be official after the Super Bowl. But here we go, Chris. The Giants with John Harbaugh, the Falcons with Kevin Stefanski, the Dolphins with Jeff Hafley, the Titans with Robert Saleh. The Ravens go with Jesse Minter, an old friend. The Steelers go with Mike McCarthy. The new ones here, the Bills land on Joe Brady, which we've discussed. But the Browns go with Todd Monken, and the Cardinals go with Mike LaFleur.
Hey. Let me start right there. One, I'm a fan of Todd Monken. I do believe he should be a head coach in the NFL. I want to make that very clear. I like Todd Monken's offense. I'm devastated that he's not coming to the Giants to be the offensive coordinator.
That would have been amazing
right?
for Jackson
I mean,
Dart.
I think he fits. Jackson Dart would have fit right in that scheme perfectly, right? The way he moves. I know he's not Lamar Jackson, but you could play a similar offense that way. Exactly right. Yep. He's athletic enough. But I find that to be an incredible decision. One, because I think most of the league thought Jim Schwartz was going to be the head coach. Of course he did. I mean, we can see with his reaction, right?
Yeah.
So that, to me, was a shocker. And to let, again, I'm Todd Monken I like, but to let a proven commodity, no doubt one of the 2 or 3 or 4 best defensive minds in the sport out of the building there, that was like, we're all going to be evaluating that next year. And on top of that, and I know you already brought this up, but this is where my mind was going. One, when I went and you saw, like, he's out of here and he's not going to be in Cleveland, I just went, I wonder what Shanahan's going to do, right? And with the 49ers in the defensive coordinator position. Because, of course, we know Saleh went to Tennessee, and they have Gus Bradley on staff.
Right.
I had said to some people last week, and I think I said it to you on the pod, right? I said Raheem would be a guy I'd be watching for. I mean, there's a relationship there. They've worked together, right? But then when Schwartz became available, I was like, whoa, I know Shanahan, like Raheem Morris, Fangio, Schwartz, Brian Flores. He looks at those 4 to be like special guys, right? And so I was like, I don't know what he's going to do there. Schwartz or Raheem Morris, that's going to be incredible. But, getting Raheem Morris is an awesome sign for them. And a little bit of changing the Seattle scheme a little bit.
Right.
Raheem's got that in his system, but I wouldn't say he's Seattle's scheme guy, and that's a little bit of a different approach for the San Francisco 49ers.
A lot of big-time DC hires. We'll go through all of them consecutively.
Yeah, sorry, I got a little off topic
you're good.
there.
I was reading them all at once, so not your fault. But as for the hires, so you like Todd Monken individually. Do you think they just overplayed their hand and thought, no, we'll be able to get Jim back, he's under contract, and it blew up?
I think so, something of that. And I haven't heard anything on the inside to give you any inklings here or whatever, but it seems like they thought maybe they could have their cake and eat it too here and go, oh gosh, I don't think he'll really leave or whatever. But it felt like it got down the road and got serious enough to where he felt like he was in the proverbial leader house there and didn't get it, and he feels burned. I mean, and I understand that.
So Todd Monken gets his shot. He's been a head coach at college, but been a coordinator for a while now. I'm excited to see what he could do. I know a lot of people kind of, shrugged at the hire and didn't care. I think it's cool to see Todd Monken get this chance.
That's what I don't like, right? We're in the era of we want offensive geniuses, and then we go, wait, the guy that just coached the guy that really almost won 2 MVPs in a row, that's not cool anymore? Why? Tell me why. Because he's just like, not flashy.
He's older.
He's old guy.
Yeah.
He's old guy. Old white guy, just not that cool. Sorry, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't understand that. I watch his offense and go, man, they can do it all. I mean, play action pass, run the ball, can attack down the field, have screen game, all that. I thought we're trying to find the offensive genius era of football here. So, again, out of the guys that were available in this whole hiring cycle, I definitely think he was one of the best offensive minds out there. So, yeah, I'm with it, but he's got some work to do. We know that Cleveland offense has got a lot of holes to fill.
He really does, as will Klint Kubiak when he finishes coaching in the Super Bowl and takes over the Raiders. The good thing for him is it feels like he knows his quarterback will be the #1 overall pick in Fernando Mendoza.
Exactly right.
It's going to be on him to have a much better year for Ashton Genty. But the Raiders, Chris, we talked about this a lot. It was the year where there weren't a lot of guys like this.
Right.
Younger play caller, strictly an offensive coordinator, as the big, like Ben Johnson.
Yeah, no Liam Cones, none of that.
Exactly. Right. But this year, this was kind of that guy.
He's one of those guys.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you I put him in the class of Ben Johnson.
That was pretty rare
Ben
territory.
Johnson's crazy good, right? I mean, I looked at Ben Johnson like I looked at Shanahan. I just went, there's just like his offense is next level. But along those lines, I think exactly what we're talking about. And you got to like everything. I mean, first off, the pedigree. He's been around the NFL forever. and another father-son duo. And yeah, there's something to be in the family business. I mean, that's what I've been around the Shanahans from my college days. Coach Shanahan would come home, and guess what they did? They talked about football all day, right? So, and then when Kyle had free time, guess what he did? He went and hung out with Mike Shanahan on the sidelines or in the facility or whatever, right? So there's knowledge of that. I mean, we all know somebody that's got a father and the son got in the family business, and you go, it's not because we had to be like, oh, my son's stupid and here, we got to find him a job. It's like, no, he knows how to run this business maybe better than I do. He's been learning it since he was a little kid.
Sean McVay's grandfather.
Sean McVay's grandfather. It goes on and on. It's part of the reason, and a big reason, of why we can't get enough African-American head coaches in the league, because the league is so deep-rooted in history of families and things and people knowing each other that it lends to a lot of self sometimes going, well, I'm going to hire the guy I'm more comfortable with, or I knew his dad, or I knew his grandfather, so I know what I'm going to get from this family and this guy. And I think that's what hurts that process a lot here. But he is, of course, done a phenomenal job here. Reclamation project, Sam Darnold, he's a bust. Sam can't work. Oh, okay. No, obviously he can. Even what he did last year, it wasn't great in New Orleans, but he had a full year there, right, where Derek Carr got hurt, all of that stuff, and they still had some games and moments in offense.
Definitely.
He worked for Shanahan the year before that in the Super Bowl when they lost to the Chiefs. So I love all of that, and I'm not shocked by this. This was 1 and 2 where you kind of felt like this for the last 10 days. You were like, it feels like Klint Kubiak's going to the Raiders. And to your point with Fernando Mendoza, I think he fits it perfectly. Right? Fernando Mendoza, we just watched the national championship. We watched it. He's a pocket passer. He's an accurate thrower. He's amazing off of play action.
That's what stands out to me.
That's what he's made for. And he fits this offense and what Klint Kubiak will want to do.
Another one here, the Cardinals go with Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur. Yeah. This is, if you showed everybody the list of 10 jobs, like, oh, I'm not surprised Mike McCarthy's back. I'm not shocked that, right away Robert Saleh gets another chance here, or Kevin Stefanski. This would be the name I think the average NFL fan would be like, I didn't think Mike LaFleur was getting a head coaching job this year.
Right. Well, this goes back to an old story called, if you work for Shanahan and McVay, everybody thinks you're awesome, right? I mean, there's value to it, and I'm not saying that. He's done both, exactly. I mean, he failed a little bit with the Jets as the offensive play caller. It was a really tough position.
Right. He did some really good things.
He did too. Right. People forget that. They do. First-time head coach, second pick of the draft. He was working for a first-time head coach. All right. It was his first time calling the plays and offensively doing that. But yes, I think there was a lot of people that still watch film of some of those games and go, oh, there was some good ideas and some good things they do. And I could speak to this. I'll show you some little inside knowledge here with this as well. Right. Like, one, he's thought of more highly in league circles than the public, okay? Secondly, I can tell you from Shanahan right out of his mouth, like when he went to the Rams, when Mike LaFleur went to the Rams, he was like, oh, gosh, Mike's going with McVay. He's going to teach Sean some of my run game tricks and some of the things that Sean doesn't know about my run game and all that. And what I want to say too is, like, you don't get that position or do that with Kyle unless you're really good in what you've done. And then so now he's taken with Kyle. He's learned a little bit from what he did right and wrong with the Jets. And then he goes to McVay for 2 years, steals a few ideas from that, right? Learns how to be a different head coach than maybe Shanahan or Saleh, put his own spin on things. And I think that's why you're seeing him right here with a team that needs some help on the offensive side of the ball.
That is right. And third, I'll say, Robert Saleh did not want to fire this man. So Robert Saleh was forced to fire Mike LaFleur. He was forced by
ownership because of the way the quarterback looked and everything there. And the quarterback deserved some of the ownership in that discussion, right? GM, everything else. That was a tough spot. It was a tough spot. Zach Wilson going into New York, first-time head coach, first-time play caller, and a whole bunch of other things that were working against them that led to a stew of not being very good. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.